Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Tron on the play for game one. I like this hand. This is kind of interesting. K Command's one of the best cards in this deck, but I think I actually do pitch it here. Because we can Myco spawn on 3. Yeah. That's weird. This is weird. But I think we do pitch the K command. Done. Alright, let's see. Is opponent actually playing Phoenix, or is their name a lie? We'll find out. Verdant Catacomb? Could be, maybe. Probably not, though. Swamp? Thoughtseize? Nethergoyf. Nethergoyf. Interesting. We'll pass. And pass. Nethergoyf. Is this Eldrazi mid? Mono black Eldrazi? Maybe. Selfie sec when got a top 8 recently, no? But it also has green, so I don't know. Is it just a Goyf dot deck? Looks like a Goyf dot deck. So we're gonna go Tower, Ugin, Exile, Goyf. Ugin 0. Myco spawn. Exile Goyf. Opponent skips it up, we'll take the win. Alright. No Phoenix is here, it looks like Goyfs. They should change the name to IZ Goyf. Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2 seems relevant-ish. We can run it back like this. Run it back as is. I don't think we have enough information. Kind of seems like Boomer Jondia. Either that or the Rock. Could be Golgari Rock. Man, can we go back to when deck names were good? The Rock, Cheerios, shenanigans like that. Trinisphere on the play could be. I'm not inclined to bring in Trinisphere, but it's a thought. I probably should bring in Trinisphere more than I do. But Trinisphere really is only playable on 2 if we have Lab into land. So I'd rather Chalice. It's also possible that we might see things where we want to bring Flute in for. Interesting. Interesting. We have submitted our deck list. But looks like opponent might be tinking about what they're bringing in from the side. I'm going to imagine if I had to guess Damp Sphere. Damp Sphere, yeah. Trinisphere main could be interesting. I saw a few lists running Trinisphere main. It's like a couple Chalice main at one Trinisphere main. I could get behind that. I think right now for Ruby Storm, that might be correct. Because Trinisphere is easy to play on the draw than in Chalices by comparison. Well, we can make this work. We'll keep. We'll pass. We tuck the Ugin or Sire. I'm going to say tuck the Sire. Bobble. Bobble crack target self. So they have a fetch. Do you like what you see, opponent? But it likely means that they don't have a turn 1 play. Because what if they do like what they see? Right? So they don't have Netherglyph, they don't have Thoughtseize. So no turn 1 play. Okay. Interesting. I haven't seen a lot of Void Mirrors, so I don't think we need to worry about that too much. Damping Sphere has more applications, especially into things like Tron, Titan. Second card, don't like that. Chalice on 1 and done. And pass in full. Hopefully they don't have a Damp Sphere on 2, because I would like my K command. They shuffled away their top deck, so their top deck must have been a 1-drop. Interesting. What killed Necrodominance? The deck being too slow. A turn 3, like, at best it's a turn 3 kill. At worst it's a turn 4. I mean, at worst it's even worse than that. But at best it's a turn 3 kill, right? So it's just not good enough as a combo deck, unfortunately. Because Ruby Storm is just a better combo deck by comparison. You need to run like 8 things of hand disruption just to hope that you can resolve it. It's fragile to removal on top of which, right? Not to mention, it also is easily hated out by things like Vexing Bauble. That's good. Temple, hold the K command. Yeah, it's too fragile. Too fragile, too slow, unfortunately. What this? Blood Moon. It's not bad. And done. Second K command, Dismember. I don't care about Dismember as much. So, Dismember bottom, K command top and draw. This does mean, though, that they can just infinitely make constructs, which is notable. We'll pass. We have K command X equals 3 to ramp into Ugin. So they're just going for constructs. It's fine by me, friend. And done. Ooh, hello, friends. Talisman and Myco to rebuild after? Yes. So I'm going to say Devourer down. Top draw. And draw. Lab. Ugin. Ugin targets the Blood Moon. I mean, I don't foresee a way for you dealing with Ugin, if I'm being completely honest. We could play the Talisman here, but I'll just plus. Oh, that's fantastic. So I make a construct. You can make 2 at most, unless 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 7. No, I don't think there's a way for you to kill Ugin. We'll pass in full. Even if you had boots, you don't have a way to kill Ugin, I don't think. Make another construct, maybe. Yeah. Then we can Karn EE for 0. Clear. I guess that clears Chalice, though, but we're also ahead, so I'm not exactly too pressed. Do you have a Pithing Needle by chance? Doubtful, but not impossible. Okay, you do. So, in that case, you name Ugin. That's fine. We can Tower, Talisman, Myco Spawn into Karn. Yep. So in that case, even smack Ugin. You probably just go for me, right? If you've locked down Ugin. Yeah. Makes sense. Redraw. Mine. Well, damn. So, how do we proceed? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, in that case, Talisman. Ugin, no targets. Yield all. That's the only thing about leaving Ugin around is that I can still exile things even with it under Needle. Myco Spawn. Ugin target. Yield all. And do we want to grab a second tower? Yeah, we grab a second tower. Go mine. Karn. Trigger. Yield all. We don't have a way of dealing with Needle right away. So I'm thinking just EE for 0. I don't think I care about the Chalice anymore, if I'm being honest. The alternative is that we could just go Ballista, I suppose, for 2 as a blocker. Hell, actually, you know what? We can go Bridge. Minus Karn. Yep. Go Bridge. Have a Bridge to slay opponent. Have fun. Even if you deal with Karn now, we have plenty of time. We'll pass. And pass. You still need Chalice. We can grab Leveler next turn. Yeah, we're pretty good here. Only unfortunate thing is we can't quote-unquote combo kill with Ugin since we don't have Fleshraker. So, yeah, this feels like just like classic Jund. Glimmer Jund. 7 cards in hand, and you haven't cast a single thing outside of Bobble. That's interesting. You have a Boseiju? Grab for a Forest. Maybe another Blood Moon, but I don't think I care about Blood Moon since we still have Ugin on board. And it's not like you can attack anyways. What this? My only assumption is Blood Moon since we went for a basic. One's gonna scoop it up. We'll never know. Alright, we'll be back for match number 2. Alright, we're back for match number 2. on the draw for game 1. 8 hits off top for Tron on 3. Otherwise, we might go Chalice on 1 or the Talisman. We'll see. Bottom one's down to 6. I feel like we've played against Funny Screen Name before, but I can't recall what they played. Funny Screen Name. Last time we played against them, they were on Zoo, but that was like months ago. Yeah, that was like 3 months ago. So, no clue what they're on now. Could still be Zoo, though. Likely is. Alright. We will pass in full. Flooded Strand. Fetch. 19. Steam Vents. Shock. Ragavan. Yep. It's Zoo. Draw. Devourer. You're a bit late to the party, friend. We'll play the mine and pass. So now we're down to 4 hits off top for Tron on 3. We need a DC a tower. Ragavan connects. Ragavan pilfers my tower. Thought not seer, that's fine. Honestly, I might want a soul land here for K command. Triumph into Draco. Nope. Draw. Karn. Not it. Talisman pass. We need tower. Ragavan pilfers. Finds Temple. I would have liked Temple, but Temple also seems slow now. So now we really need tower. Though then again, a K command X3 does get us closer to Ugin. We draw tower. Oof. We'll grab a mine. They could have Stubborn Nile. Hell, even Consign. We could attempt Karn minus for bridge, but no, I think we hold up K command. K command X2, exile Ragavan. Doorkeeper Thrall. Sure. Do you have a hasty flage? You could have a hasty flage. You do have a hasty flage. That's annoying. So, in that case, they hit me down to 9, 6 down to 3. Do I ramp an exile or scry draw exile? If I ramp an exile, I have 6. We still need to find a land then. So I think I have to scry draw exile and try and find tower. Doorkeeper Thrall down. And done. And you have this consign. Yep, we'll concede. Not much we can do about that. So in that case, on the play, Chalice on 1 hits Consign, quote unquote, Stubborn Denial, Bolt, Ragavan. So it might still be fine to keep in. A flute's not bad, so I'll bring in a flute. Let's run it back. Yep, sometimes they just have it all. Not much you can do about that. Be fair, we were angling for 8 hits off top and we whiffed. Sometimes you play the numbers and sometimes the numbers play you. We got desperate. They took advantage. At the end of the day, Magic is a game of numbers. All right. On the play for game 2, Here we go again. 4 hits off top, but we have Dismember K command for interaction. Yeah, let's go for it. It likely brought in Charma, Damp Sphere, so we do need to be mindful of that. And for those who don't know, we are always on the 61 special because of Gemstone, hence why we're able to sub Gemstone out pretty cleanly. Power Plant, pass. Hold Temple, or hold Dismember rather. No Ragavan on 1. We draw. Mine. Well, hello there. We will play the tower and pass. I wish I could move my lands around so I could assemble the panorama. Triumph, so that likely means they have a Sign of Draco. If so, we'll Dismember it. Fetch, 18. Steam Vent Shock. Yep, there's a Scion. Resolve. Dismember. Pass. Draw. Mine. They could have Charma. Karn. Karn minus. ES for Torpor Orb. Pass. And pass. Watch them have a Arena of Glory into a Hasty Flage. That'd be unfortunate. Not the end of the world. We have the K command, but it'd still be quite annoying. Temple Garden Shock, no Hasty Flage. 3 to Fairy Bounce Karn? Or Orb. To Fairy Bounce nothing? Confusion. That is confusion. Why would you not bounce Torpor Orb at the very least to force me to recast? Why to Fairy Plus? Because you think I can't kill it? Bold move, Cotton. We'll play the Power Plant. Minus. Yes. When you cast this spell, go for Leveler. Do you think I don't have cast triggers? Pop Tef. And pass? Ones like this where I wish I played Sundering Titan. Would have been amazing to clear their board of lands. I mean, Zoo has seen an uptick in player rate. There could be an argument for Sundering Titan as a one-of in the side. Puts a Flage to yard, fine. Sign of Draco is going to get popped by the Leveler. Binding what? Binding Leveler? Sure. We'll draw Cyrus 7 Death. How do we want to proceed here? We have access to 2, 4, 6, 9, 10 mana. 11 Eldrazi. We can't deal with the Sign of Draco. We can deal with the Flage, though. Well, let's start with Karn Plus on the Power Stone. Actually, I went to there. Second main. Could just Cyrus 7 Death. They don't have enough for Flage just yet. We could hold up K Command. Biggest thing is we can't get rid of the Scion right now. Yeah, I suppose we're just gonna do it like this. Sire 7 death and hold up K command X2. Yeah, we can't Sundering Titan because of Torpor, but still. Would have been fun. Technically, we could have plussed an Orb. Another Leyline Binding, really? You just have all the answers, don't you, friend? Ward. You'll hit Karn. You can't exactly ignore it. Karn down. Three Flage enters. Sticks on board because of the K command. We could hold the K command and exile the Flage. Alternatively, creatures entering. You're not a creature when you enter, you're an artifact, but it doesn't destroy the Flage. But, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 10, 12. Yes, this works the way I want it to. Ramp Scry Draw. And done. A second tower and a K command? Don't mind if I do. And draw, tower, Karn. Karn will minus Leveler? Or minus grab Leveler, right? Yes. Grab Leveler. Because I currently have access to 8. Grabs the Leveler. Leveler can hits the Leyline Binding. I don't really care if you kill Karn at this point. It's pretty much GG's. And hold up K command, X equals 2. I suppose you could Flage again. Well, that's kind of okay. Because you can't deal with the Sire unless you block it. So you need to hold blockers back and we'll take the win. Alright. Bring back the gemstone and... Chalice on the draw here feels pretty bad. Second flute. I want to keep these two on the side. Bring in Ballista. Sure, we'll play the odds. We'll keep. Opponent mulligans down to 6, down to 5. They should have cut all of their Leyline in the guild packs out of fear that I run all as dust, which is a valid concern. So that should be good news. We revealed Devourer. Pass and full. Arid Mesa, fetch 19. Steam Vent Shock for Rag, which means we need a Dismember. Pain. Draw. Looking for a Talisman now. Tower. Oh, damn. There's Tower. Mine. Dismember. Pass. Pass. Draw. Talisman. I don't want to play the map into Consign if I can help it. Or Stubborn Denial for that matter. Like, I want to try and assemble Tron. But we play into potential consign. Stubborn Denial we play around if we go tower map, but then play potentially into a Charmaw. Let's go lab. Play the Talisman. Play the map. And hold. 2. Blue, red. What the fresh what? Blue, red, instant speed. Oh. Shatter Spree? Is that instant speed or sorcery? Wear Tear. Ugh, that makes sense. It's my Talisman, but not my map. Okay. Wooded Foothill. Do you have Charmaw? No, you have Sign of Draco. That's fine. Cyrus 7 Death. We will crack the map for Power Plant. Play Power Plant and pass. And hold 2 in hand. Trying to make our hand look worse than it is by playing the land that we grabbed. Make them think I don't have any lands in hand, but also don't have any castables for 2. Worst case scenario is still Charmaw, Blood Moon, Damp Sphere. Kabu's fine. Draw. K command. Interesting. No blue up. So K command X equals 2 into Sire. Seems pretty good. And done. Pass. And then if they leyline binding the Sire, we can devour it from underneath. Get Sire back on board. Seems good. And if Sire goes uncontested, it should present a lethal board state. Opponent scoops it up, we'll take the win. Solid. Alright, we'll be back for match number 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. Likely against Zoo again. Mulligan. 8 hits off top. No digs. Sure, we're here to play Tron. Let's play Tron. We'll keep pitch tower, and let's see if we draw into mine or map. Floodstrand, fetch, Steam Vent Shock, Ragavan. I hate the stupid monkey. Hey, it's a map. We will play the map and pass. And pass. Do you have a leyline binding? Ragavan will connect. Ragavan will pilfer a cake man. That would have been nice. Floodstrand fetch for Triumph into Scion or binding? Binding. Damn. No, Scion. Okay, that's fine. We can make that work. Tower. Take 6, down to 12. Ragavan pilfers. What does Ragavan pilfer? Ragavan pilfers. Talisman. You could play the Talisman. It's actually not bad for you. There's a Flage. Another Sign of Draco. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Why hold up the Wooded Foothill For a Surveil land or for a Consign? Either ways, it's annoying is what it is. For mine, we draw. Okay, command's pretty good. I feel like if you had Binding, you would have taken out the map unless you've drawn into it. So why crack the treasure when you could have cracked the Wooded Foothill? I suppose the Wooded Foothill could be for a Surveil. You crack Surveil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you have Flage in hand, you could Flage, actually. Interesting. That's only if the Fable sticks on board. So we can Ugin into K command? Yes. Alright, let's see if you have Stubborn Denial, I suppose. Ugin. Ugin target the Fable. When we're playing around Flage, we hit the Fable. Yeah. Wooded Foothill fetch? Do you have Consign? Steam Vent Shock down to 13. Stubborn Denial. Damn. Alright. I'll pass. 12, 8, down to 4. Even if they have a Flage in hand, it's not lethal at least. Next turn we have 10 mana. How to proceed though? Ragavan Pilfers, Talisman. Down to 4. I suppose maybe going for Ragavan first would have been good. There's the Flage, like I thought. I was right about the Flage. I guess we could have been at 3, but I guess the 3 doesn't necessarily matter too much here. 1 card in hand, 2 treasures, 10 mana. How to proceed? Karn, K commands. We have to get rid of the Flage no matter what. So if we K command, ramp, exile cards in yard. Karn into bridge. We have 10, 6, 9. That leaves back 1 blocker. That's not enough. 10, 8, 8 mana after. I guess maybe we should have gotten rid of the rag. My thought was if we went for Ugin, we could then exile. I guess no. Still going for the rag would have made sense. Yeah, I guess I should have hit rag with Ugin because then we could have K command for 0, scry draw, and exile Galvan Shaman, exile the Fable. Because I figured they had a Flage in hand, which I was right about. If we K command and Tormod's Crypt, that's not enough because the Sign of Draco. We either need to kill the Sign or stop it from attacking. I guess they don't have enough cards in yard just yet to go for the Flage. So we K command and ramp exile. Again, we would need bridge or something to stop the Scion. So I have ramp exile, exile the rag, and exile the rag, bridge stops you, block you. But maybe just block the goblin is fine. Or block the rag is fine. Alright, so we're gonna have to do it this way then. Ramp exile. So Karn, bridge. Let's start with Karn. Karn. Does Karn get countered? Karn does not get countered. Karn minus. Yes. For bridge. I have a bridge to sell to you. Here's a bridge. We then K command, ramp and exile. Exile the rag. No, we exile the... I guess the goblin shaman, we don't care about the treasures. So yeah, we exile the rag. Done. So now they can't attack Oscion, but the problem now becomes if they find a fetch, they win with the Flage. And show me the white source, and I'll concede. And concede. Alright. Sideboard. What do we do before? We're on the play. Gemstone out. What do we do? Flute in? Call it there? Yeah. I mean, we didn't have enough to exile the Scion. Scion's 12 mana. We had 10, so we can only X equals 8. What else could we X equals 8 for that would be of relevance, knowing that there's a potential Flage in the yard? Sire is 7 death, but still not great. I mean, it really relies around the idea of Flage no longer being in yard, or being accessible at the very least. I mean, in the end, the extra 3 points of damage did matter. Or extra 2 points of damage, rather. Because we could have taken a hit, then I could have exiled the Flage instead of ramping. And so, at the end of the day, me not exiling the Ragavan with Ugin is what cost me there. On the play... If that had a 7-minute value spell in it, this would be so much better. But we think we have to mulligan this. This is workable. We'll keep. Pitch the Ulamog. Done. Opponent will mulligan in a 6 as well. Devourer reveal. Guild Pact. Interesting. You do not fear the All's Dust. TKS or K command, we take the K command. Lab, imprint, cast, and pass. We'll hold. Feign that we could have something. Do you have a Ragavan on one? No. So likely a Kavu or Sign of Drakon too. We'll play the Temple, and we will hold. Do you fetch? You do. We'll flute now, then. Flute naming Sign of Draco? Yes. We'll pass. Surveil. Puts it on top. Probably should have waited until after the Surveil. Haste. Is it a Kavu? No, it can't be a Kavu. I guess it can be a Kavu, but not a hasty Kavu at the very least. That's fine. Draw. Tower. Play the Mine. Exile Scrydraw, Exile Ramp. If they have a Charmaw next turn... Do you play Charmaw? Doesn't look like you do. At least not in your most recent list. So in that case, I think we ignore the possibility of Charmon. We ramp Exile. No, actually, let's Scrydraw Exile. And done. Ooh, this gets interesting. Let's see here. So 2, 3, 4. In that case, we want Ugin or Sire. I'm gonna say probably Sire over Ugin. So Dismember bottom, Ugin bottom, Sire top, Mycospawn top, and pass. And pass. Next turn we have Tron into Sire. Another Kavu. Another Kavu. We draw. Mycospawn. Do you have a consigned memory? You do not. I will grab the power plant. And cast Cyrus 7 Death. This way now, if they have a binding, we can devour it from underneath the binding. There's the binding. You'll pay the ward. And now we have Devour lined up for next turn. Second binding, grabbing Flute so you can play the Sign of Draco. And you're gonna haste it. Looks like it. That'll be 9 damage. Not much I can do about that. Kavash tramples. We're not even going to try and stop it. No blocks. Down to 10. And draw. Tis a map. Map is mana neutral. And they don't have any mana. So let's do this. Map. Crack. Tower. Play tower. Return Devourer. Devour the binding and pass. No attacks and pass. Unfortunately, they both have first strike. It is surprising that Draco doesn't say other creatures. Each creature you control. Attacking with Kavu suggests that they have Bolt. We'll block with the Devourer. Actually, if I block with Devour and Mycospawn, then even through Bolt, we can kill it. Yeah? Yeah. Let's do that. Show me the bolt. And there's the bolt. Oh, never mind. It's not gonna get killed first strike. Duh. At least we don't take trample damage. Draw. Don't need to reveal that. We can't attack though, so we'll pass. Wooded Foothill fetch, 23 or 25 surveil, no surveil, Triumph. Why a Triumph unless you're out of surveils? Maybe. I feel like you play a Lush Portico unless it's in your hand. Possibility. Flage? Flage Helix Myco? Or Helix Me down to 7? Helix Me... No, Helix Myco. Interesting. Yeah, the Hasty Flage next turn. Draw. Dismember. Well, that's a dead freaking card now, isn't it? Oh. Oh, this is awkward. Are we dead to a Hasty Flage? No Hasty Flage. Fable. Trigger. You can't attack. Need to draw into something here. That is something. Karn the Great Creator. How many types do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunate. Thought about Battleship and Clear. It is the Sign of Draco. It's the Kavu, but the Kavu wouldn't be dead. But we could attack then with a Sire. Huh. Oh, but you know what? It would actually work the way I want it to. So we will Karn minus. Yes. I'm gonna grab the Battleship. Battleship. Battleship will pop the Fable, the Mirror Breaker. No, we have to pop the Leyline and the Guild Pact. Take him off a white. And then we are going to attack with Sire. Sire will connect up to 17. Do you want to dismember the Kavu now? I'm going to say yes. Black, 1, 2. Kavu down. We could charge the Battleship. I'm going to say no to that. I want the life gain from the Sire if possible. Pitch 2, another Flage to Yard. There's your Hasty Flage for what it's worth. But you're only looking at 6 damage. I guess you got to kill the Karn is the benefit. No haste. Just kill Karn. That's fine. We'll draw. Forest. Go to combat. Again, no reason to reveal that we only have a forest, and no reason to charge the Battleship right now, I don't think. I guess it is a second body on board, though. We're at 21. Yeah, we'll charge the Battleship then. We'll pass. And pass. No attacks. We draw. Devourer's pretty good. Devour the Flage, and opponent will scoop it up. Okay. Alrighty. Back on the draw. Chalice out. Second Flute in and a Ballista in. Let's run it back. This is interesting. Yeah, we can make this work. So the question is, we reveal Devourer. Play the Gemstone. What do we pitch the Gemstone? Devourer? Yeah, let's do that. We'll pass. Arid Mesa. Do you have a rag? No rag. Devour trigger. Finds K command. Finds a Dismember. Dismember's kind of dead here. I was kind of hoping for a Tron land, if I'm being honest. I could ship them all. The K command's kind of hard to play with any significant point in time, so I'm going to say no to all. Ship all, draw fresh, see what we find. Ugin, not what I wanted. We'll pass. See if a Stubborn Denial or Consign. Arid Mesa, Fetch, Surveil, that's fine. Sign of Draco, we draw. Lab. Let's play the forest into the Myco spawn. The question is, what do we grab the Myco here? We can play the odds. We have 7 mana next turn regardless. So you know what? Let's play the odds. We'll grab Power Plant or Mine. We'll say Mine. Yes. And pass. And pass. We have 7 mana next turn, which means we can go Karn into Bridge empty-handed. Pretty good. Kavu. Nope. Signable attack. I do have a mana up, though, which is a bit concerning. Could be Stubborn Denial. Could be Consign. We'll draw. Oh, well, that changes things now, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. No reason to imprint. We get Tron online. So no imprint. Do you have Consign to Memory? No Consign. We grab Power Plant. So now the question is if you have a Denial. Ugin at the very least gets rid of the Leyline Binding, which gets rid of the first strike, which is relevant. So we are going to go for Ugin to get rid of the Guild Pact rather, not binding. Because at least it weakens the Kavu quite significantly, in fact. No Stubborn Denial. Still could have Binding, though. We'll plus draw a card. TKS is nice. We'll pass. No attacks. I guess it still has First Strike Trample, right? Because Silence still there. Red, green gets him that. Steam Vents. Tapped. Shock. Bolt. Bolt. Target. Spawn. 1 card in hand. No binding. Bolt. Send 9 at Ugin. Yep. 1 card left. So unless you drew into Consign, I suppose we can TKS to clear the way, though. Pitch land, draw fresh. Ugin down. And draw. Oh. Well, that changes the math a bit, doesn't it? I think we still start with TKS. 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. We still start with TKS. TKS sees. Binding. And Ugin gets rid of Kavu, yield all. Opponent's empty-handed now. We plus on Ugin. No reason to show the tower, but no reason not to play it either. We'll play the tower and pass. And I think that should be GG's. I don't foresee them getting out of this one. Attacks the Ugin down to 5. Flage. Helix, target Ugin down to 2. We draw. Myco spawn. Oh, this is fun. How much mana do I have? 1, 4, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, minus 3, 12. Yeah, we got this. So let's start with Myco spawn kick. Myco spawn kick, target the white source, yield all, grab tower, cast Karn, Ugin target, yield all, Karn minus, yes, for leveler, Ugin minus, leveler, target Sign of Draco, Ugin, no targets, and if one screws it up, we'll take the win. Solid win. Alright, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. Oh, sure. We can make this work. To lab first? I think, yeah, in case of hand disruption. Let's lab first and print Ugin and pass. Otherwise, if they have hand disruption, then the Cakemans get significantly worse if the Ugin gets pulled. Flooded Strand, no fetch. Opponent could be on control. Temple. Do we force check here? Yeah, we force check. Do you have force, friend? You do not have force. Devourer. Not really what we want to see right now. Map's fine, though. We'll take the map. Surveil. Interesting. Well, it doesn't look like it's what I was thinking it was, which was Azorius Control. Fascinating. Could be Dimir Frog. That's a possibility. Could be holding up a counter spell. A third K command, criminy. We'll play the map. Hold up K command. We'll pass. No reason to go too deep right now. Paying cost for what? Cling to Dust. Looking more and more like Frog. Okay. It's fine. Surveil. Do we use K command as permission? Frog did recently win a challenge, so it makes sense to see a slight uptick in Frog. That's not by much. I don't really need permission here unless they are playing main deck consign. So we're just going to crack the map on end step and grab a forest. We're going to kick a Myco spawn. Well, could have played the talisman instead, I suppose, but c'est la vie. Myco spawn, kick the Myco spawn. Do you have a Wanchi Tongue? Or a counterspell? Counterspells aren't as heavily played, but kind of as a 2 of. There's a counterspell, that's fine. We'll grab a temple at this point. And hold up K command, X equals 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we don't K command for permission for Ugin. A second map, though, is nice. In that case, how do we want to proceed? Tower, Talisman, Spell Snare, map, and hold K command. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, yeah, now we're going to use K command as permission. 4 could be subtlety mana. End step, K command. X equals 4. Done. Show me hardcast force. Consult. Digging for an answer. But I'll scoop it up, we'll take the win. Pretty sure this is Frog. Pretty sure. Frog in that case. Flute comes in. We could keep Consign, but on the draw, again, doesn't feel as good. We'll trim at least one Consign out. Keep Flute Dismember in. Leveler feels good in this matchup, too. Go down to one Chalice. We'll just bring in the second Flute. Call it. Do this. I don't think you'll see too much Frog in the meta right now, but just the occasional Frog enjoyer. It's so absurd to me that Murktide's no longer playable. It's a wild thought that Riddler's just that good that it replaced Murktide. It's weird. Riddler's a pretty busted card when you analyze it too hard. Even in decks that can't cheat it in. I guess blue can still consign the warp trigger, to be fair, so they can still actually cheat at him. Consign's also just a stupid card. They really, in my opinion, I do think Consign... I'm fine with the overall design of Consign. The only thing that I do wish, so it wasn't as ubiquitous of a card, is that Consign's replicate cost was for blue instead of generic. If it was for blue instead of generic, it wouldn't be used in over like 70% of decks. If I find a soul land, this hand's palatable. Let's dig 8 deep. Passing full. Scouting turn. Trigger yield all. Trigger 1 finds the lab. Trigger 2 finds the lab. No reason to lab. We'll temple here. We'll pass. If we only had one Devour, then I would lab to avoid hand disruption. But they also didn't play anything on one, so it's unlikely they have hand disruption. Surveil, pass. And pass. Surveil. Alright, so unless they have Consigned, TKS will resolve. Gemstone, you're a bit late to the party, friend. TKS, do you have Consign? You do. There's Consign, we'll pass in full. Becomes a bit more awkward now. Surveil, Jesus, finding all of your Surveil cards. Spell Pierce, 2 up. No reason to play the Karn into a counterspell. We'll play Tower, pass. We'll hold. Blue to Delta, pass. We're going to be staring at each other for a while here. It's going to be kind of a anemic matchup. Power Plant, pass. At least next turn we do have enough mana for Devourer, unless we see a Flood Moon, which would be kind of backbreaking. They go for a basic swamp. They do not. Okay, so no Harbinger. Instant speed. Cling to Dust. Draw a card. Okay. They could consult as well. But I feel like they would have consulted before they cling. 16. Passing. Draw. Temple. What the fresh hell are we gonna do here? See, I'd love nothing more than to Myco kick, but we're missing green. Play the Temple pass. I have no reason to just play this card into nothing, so I'm fine just staring. Bowmaster. Been a while since I've seen a Bowmaster. Not necessarily true. I've seen a Bowmaster recently, but still. It's definitely a much more rare card than it used to be. At least now we have a Devour target. Likely means they have Consign in hand, if I had to guess. Down to 17. Draw. Map. Okay. Huh. The thing is, they can't give me Tron. Let us 4, 6, 7. Let's start. This is kind of interesting. Depends on how many counterspells we think they have in hand. They can't give us Tron. That's a point-blank statement. We have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's start with map. Let's see if they counter it. What? Crack map? For mine? Play mine? Devourer? Yodel? That's shocking. Flooded Strand fetch. I mean, we're going to pass in full at this point. Huh. Consult or counterspell? Subtlety. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine if we put it on top here. We'll take 4 down to 13. I mean, again, worst case scenario here is a Flood Moon, but if they did that again, they would have probably fetched for a swamp, not an island. And a 13, Watery Grave, tapped, draw. There's the Devourer. We'll play Tower to start. I mean, we can double cast Devourers here. Devourer hits Subtlety. 3 cards in hand. Consign to memory, that's fine. Return Devour to hand. Devour, take 2, hit the Subtlety, pass in full. Do you have another Consign? You do not. Devour hits board. And I think that's going to start spelling the beginning of the end for them. Cling to Dust from the yard. Yep, Cling to Dust from the yard, draw a card. You hit the map, which we can grab back with Karn if needed. Speaking of, how much mana do I have? We have more than enough to grab back that leveler. We draw Talisman. Well, Starve Talisman. Pain cost, Spell Snare, rude. Karn the Great Creator. 1, 2, 5, 7, 8 still. Pain cost, counterspell, also rude. Any reason to play the gemstone? Not really. Let's apply pressure to the board. And attack for 6. Down to 9. We'll pass. Attack down to 12. Draw. Another map. Map. Crack. For a forest. Kick. Kick the Miko spawn. Yield all. Do you have a consign? What the hell is this? Wanchitong. It's not bad. Actually pretty good. It's a 6/6. We'll grab another tower. Wanchitong says whenever opponent searches their library, so they get the trigger whether or not we grab a land. Yep, we'll grab the tower. Wanchitong triggers. Why not make it one bigger, though, is my question. I'm willing to trade if you want. I choose not to. You're down to 3, which means you can't attack unless you have another blocker. Why did you not make it one bigger? I'm confused. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to attack. Cling the Dust. Guess to draw another card. We'll pass. Because now you can't attack unless you have another blocker. I guess you could... No, you can't cling. Or too short. Alright. Down to 6. Lethal on board on both sides. Do we get them on the crackback? Do we play Karn now? No, we wait, right? In case they have a subtlety. Go to combat. Attack with all. Oh, it has vigilance. Freaking duh. I forgot that had vigilance, I'll be honest. Karn? I mean, I imagine you have a counter spell. There's no way you don't. You have 5 cards in hand. Hardcast Force. Consult. Digging. I mean, you got to dig pretty deep here. Does Karn resolve? There's no way it resolves. Subtlety? Had the right idea. Again, forgot about the Wanchitong having vigilance. And did. We'll concede. Alright. Let's see. Gemstone out. Do we want Chalice in? I mean, X equals 2 seems decent. Honestly, I think I just might bring in a Ballista and call it. But I don't think I want to take anything else out. No. Let's run it back like this. On the play for game 2, we keep this all day, every day. Also, this is game 3, not 2. Do you have a force? No force. That's fantastic. We draw. Tower. We hold. Scouting Tarn fetch 19, surveil. Polluted Delta. We will crack the map. Grab a power plant. And draw. Play the power plant. Let's run out the TKS. Chances are I'll be counter, but that's fine. Subtlety, pitch, spell, pierce. Interesting. I'll put the TKS on top. That is absolutely fine by me. We'll hold Dismember. Do you fetch for a basic swamp? No, you surveil. So unlikely Harbinger coming up. But even then we have Dismember on at the ready. Polluted Delta, passing. I mean, we're just gonna replay our TKS. Do you have a counterspell this time? Paying cost for Consign a Memory. There's the counterspell proper. Alright, we'll hold. 4 cards in hand. Next turn, we're setting up an Ulamog. They could still have Consign. They did not fetch the Polluted Delta, which means they're holding up something. Probably Consign a Memory then, damn. Draw, Devourer. Play Devourer. Put a body on board, see if they counter it. I care more about the Ulamog than I do about the Devourer, so I'm going to feed them some fluff. Paying cost. 4. Huh. Never in a million years would I have expected Logic Knot. I mean, I should have played a land. To be fair, they could have made it for 5, but Logic Knot? I guess it has Delve? I guess? I'm just confused. Alright, I mean, I don't pay the 3. I'll play the mine and pass. Logic Knot. The fresh what? Alright. Fascinating. 3 cards in hand. We draw. Talisman. Let's start with Talisman. So, 6, 9, 10. Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Polluted Delta fetch for an island. Polluted Delta fetch for a Watery Grave shock? What is this? Are we going to consult first? No. One Shitong. Sure, I guess I should have dismembered first, or played the lab first. We'll play the lab still. Like, do I care about Wan Chi Tong right now? Not really in the grand scheme, though I guess it would have been nice to stop them from drawing a card. I don't imagine you're gonna... I guess you can attack here as Vigilance, right? Do I care about dismembering this right now? Not really. This is fine. We just need 2 attacks. And I don't think they have any way to deal with this. Paying cost, Shieldred's Edict. Well, damn. Opponent has all the answers. Let's dismember first. You want to counter the dismember? Perfect. Karn. Minus Karn. Yes. We have access to... how much mana? 3, 5, 7. Not enough for Battleship, but we can just as easily go Bridge and bog up the board. I don't think they can deal with Bridge. We'll pass. And pass. Consult. Dig 4, pull 2. You have to be mindful of the fact they have Bowmaster. So we don't necessarily want to put Karn into striking range of that. But this gets interesting. Karn minus. And Bone scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright, solid win against Frog. Even though we actually never saw Frog. Or Riddler for that matter. Not sure we just got lucky or our opponent got unlucky, but either ways. We'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the draw for game 1. Let's run it like this and pass. This hand's not bad. Draw. K command's pretty good. This hand's getting better. Okay. I'm a little bit worried about this matchup because it's likely Birthing Writ, but if this resolves, we're in a good spot. It does. We have Dismember. And K command as follow-up. Okay. So that looks like an Ice Fang. We'll draw. Chalice. Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. If we Chalice on 2 here, they could still have a Force. If they have a Flare, it means at least they don't have the ability for Birthing Writ. I think Myco Spawn's probably the safer bet in the grand scheme, though. Yeah, I think we stick with Myco. Yield all. Let's grab Temple for the K command. Hold up Dismember. This way, if they play the Coiling Oracle, we can't... not Coiling Oracle, the Ice Fang Quaddle, we can Dismember it. Also, you probably hold until after they play the Writ. This is fine. Between Dismembering K command, we might be in a decent position regardless. They'd grab a basic. Could be if they have Harbinger in hand. That is a consideration. Which means we'd have to hold a Dismember, but we'll know more. Major downside of that, though, this K command becomes a dud. Huh. Yeah. This gets interesting, I fear. Ritual, we Dismember. Harbinger, we have to Dismember the Harbinger and hope they don't have a Flare. Yeah. Is there a world where I cycle the K command in response to a Harbinger? Maybe. That's a Harbinger. Charlotte's Agent. That is fine. Finds the Coiling Oracle. Yield all. Coiling Oracle finds Breeding Pool. Plays Breeding Pool tapped. No reason to Dismember here. They'll attack the Ice Fang down to 18. I mean, I think we go Chalice on 2, then we draw. Devourer. Never mind. We are devouring. Alright, so let's go to combat first. Actually, no, I shouldn't. I shouldn't go to combat. Second main. Yeah. Let's go for the Shardless Agent. Do you have a flare? You do not have a flare. Okay. Yeah, I should play the Devour first before the Myco spawn, then attack the Myco spawn. Unlikely they block the Oracle. They should be at 16. We'll see if those 3 points make a difference. Misty Rainforest fetch, another forest. Shardless Agent finds Birthing Root. And here's where the fun begins. Fibblethip, draw a card. We'll take the 1 down to 17. What do you find off the writ? You still could have Force in hand. Harbinger. Mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would counter Dismember as well. Black. 1. Target Harbinger and pray. Is Harbinger down? Harbinger's down. Go to combat. Attack with Devourer. Hold up K command? Yes. Well, actually, do we want to hold up the K command? Maybe not. Oh, interesting thoughts. At the same time, do I want to tap down the Ulamog? Probably not. We're not going to be casting it anytime soon. Interesting. 9 puts him down to 9. We take 4 down to 10. The main concern here is Oculus. It's clear they didn't have a flare or force in hand. Let's leave back the Myco spawn, attack with the Devourer. Do we K command now? That is the question. I think the answer is yes. Otherwise, they would have flared or forced. So K command now for 4. Let's go digging. This also insulates us from a Harbinger. There's Karn. Ooh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Huh. Karn. We can't grab the Graph Diggers, unfortunately. We don't have enough mana. But we can grab Karn. Grab the Talisman. Okay, so I think I have ideas here. I want to play the Karn now, since they're clearly not countering anything. Let's bottom the tower. Top the Talisman, top the K command, top the Karn, play the Karn. I guess they could have a subtlety, but they don't. Do we want to grab anything out of the sideboard right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, potentially we just go for bridge, honestly, but I think I just plus here. Let's plus and pass. How many other wars do they play? Just one? That's good. They probably just attack the Ice Fang at Karn down to 5. Second Harbinger, that's fine. That's why we kept the Talisman just in case. Yep. Karn takes a hit, down to 5. I mean, unless they drew into counter magic, the bridge should resolve. And then their only hope from there is Sink in the Stupor, which they do play 4 of, but we've already seen 1. We draw. Let's go Karn minus. Yes. We're going to grab Bridge. And there's Bridge. And we'll play Chalice on 0. Chalice on 0 seems relevant. Alright, it doesn't seem relevant, but that way they can't attack. Yes. Chalice on 1 does nothing, so yeah, Chalice on 0. And then we pass. So Ice Fang can still attack, but that's fine. The worst case scenario here is that they have a Sink. They would still need to deal with Bridge. Second Oculus. Okay. The problem is now they're just going to build their board until they find Sink. However, if we go Karn for Stonebrain, Stonebrain named Sink, I don't think they have an out short of Beseiju. A third Oculus, Jesus. So I think their only outs here are Sink and Beseiju. They attack Karn, which is a bit of a problem. Because now if we Karn minus, we can only grab one thing. Sacrifices Ice Fang. Triple Oculus trigger. They have one Beseiju and 3 Sinks. How do we want to proceed? Either one kills me. And they're quickly making their deck smaller and smaller. Let's start with Talisman. Talisman resolves. We can empty our hand with K command. We ramp. That stops the Ice Fang, but we don't want a minus. I'd love a turn. So we have K command X equals 3. Scry draw, exile, Ice Fang, I suppose. Let's Karn plus. Done. K command X equals 3. Scry draw, exile the Ice Fang. Should probably wait until upkeep though. Let's wait. Guess we could also get rid of Harbinger. But is that really relevant right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shit. In that case, I'm going to need to K command ramp and exile an Oculus, I think, to potentially stabilize. Done. Do you have a flare or a force? Bridge back the hand. That's 10, 11 in the air. We're not dead then, but Karn is out. Paying cost for... Oh, son of a... Yeah, you got it. We'll concede. Damn. Yeah, Karn minusing Stone Brain wouldn't have been enough. In response to Stone Brain, they just would have sunk. Unfortunate. So, Bobble Cage in. Gemstone out. Chalice on 2 is relevant. Flute not so much. Probably drop a Chalice. Ugin's good. Ugin's actually backbreaking for them. Yeah, we'll drop a Chalice and run it back. That's so unfortunate. On the play for game 2. We will keep... We need to find a soul land, or at least a land off Devourer. Yeah, them flipping the Oculus at end is what sealed the deal. They had 15 damage in the air. If they didn't have the fourth Oculus as a manifest creature, we were fine. So unfortunate. Opponent's thinking hard and they're opening 7. I mean, they brought in Consign. They brought in Harbinger. What else do they have in the sideboard? Force, Harbinger, Consign. They have 4 Gemstone Caverns in the sideboard? That's insane. That's wild. That's all I'll say to that. I just saw that. That's wild. Temple. Alright, do you have a force? Imprint the Devourer. Force check, no force, we pass. And we pass. Misty Rain, draw, Temple. Do we force check here? Yes, we'll force check. And done. Oh, I was like, what are we doing here? But I understand now. Subtlety, pitch, Oculus, sacrifice subtlety to flare. Yes, you got it. Pass in full. I mean, I'll take that all day. That's a 3-for-1. Yep, that's fine. Opponent was desperate not to let that resolve down. Good news, we have 2 more. We'll pass in full. They kept it on top. Whatever they saw off of the hedge maze. Breeding Pool Shock for Coiling Oracle. Coiling Oracle finds Gemstone. Bit late to the party, friend. There's Ulamog. Do we force check again? Yeah, I think so. Done. I guess at this point it's a flare check. Land Chalice, Myco Spawn. Chalice on 2 seems good right now. Yeah, I like that idea. So, I guess we can't Chalice on 2 right now. But we can grab a land. That case, I actually don't care about Chalice right now. Bottom Chalice, top Myco Spawn, top land draw, play mine, hold up K command in case they have a Birthing Writ. We can attempt to exile the Coiling Oracle. They don't have Force, they don't have Flare, so the K command's decent. We hold. Land. Do you have the Birthing Writ? 16. Basic Forest. Do you have Harbinger? You have the Harbinger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, that's fine. We have the tokens. We'll take the 1. We'll draw. There's the Myco. You know, we could just Myco kick and hit their 1 forest. That's actually not a bad idea. That's kind of interesting. Other options, the K command, but we can K command later. This should put a damper on things. What do we want here? I guess we could assemble Tron, go tower, set for power plant later. Either that or go temple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll go temple. And we'll hold. This stops them from attacking. They don't have green now. They're 1 short of Oculus. They don't have Consign unless they drew into it. Power plant. I wish I grabbed the tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go to upkeep. Where do we go to end step? We'll go to end step. K command, I think. Four in hand. End step, attempt a K command, ramp and exile the Harbinger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And done. Do you have Flare, Force, or Consign? This is the question of the day. You don't? Well, I hope you don't mind your lands going because it's time for an Ulamog. Devourer. 4. Ulamog, target, yield all. Icefang Quaddle, sure, go for it. Draw a card. A lot of good that will be. But I'll scoop it up, we'll take the win. Alright, comes to this. Can we get the 5-0? Bring Gemstone back in. Trim out a Chalice, trim out Chalice. Bring in... You know what? Let's bring in Leveler. Actually, we could bring in Leveler. We could bring in Ballista. Though actually 1 Flute might not be bad. Yeah, all-time Flute might matter here. Imagine opponent will be on the play. Puts at a significant disadvantage, unfortunately. This matchup's definitely play draw dependent. I'd love to see a Graph Digger. I'd love to see a Graph Digger right now. That is whether or not we're going to see our opening hands. But I may have stepped away from the keyboard, so we're going to pause real quick and be back once they've returned. Alright. And Bone's back, and we asked for the Graph Digger. We found it. And also a possibility for Tron. We like these hands. Edge Maze, Surveil, which means they need a Force or an Evoke Flare. We'll draw. Second card's not great, I'm going to be honest here. Alright, let's start with the mine. Play the Graph Digger. Do you have a Force? No Force? Graph Digger's good. Alright, can we hopefully not see a Harbinger on 3? Breeding Pool, Shock 18 for Coiling Oracle. Coiling Oracle finds a sink. Draw. Mine. Go for the power plant. Would love to see TKS or Tower here. We'll pass. Do you have a basic forest or a fetch for basic forest in the Harbinger? You do not. Ice Fang, draw a card, missing a potential land drop, plays the sink tapped. We'll take one down to 19. Let's see if we can find TKS, K Command, or Tower. Draw. K Command works. What are we gonna do here? Chances of them having a flare, very possible. I guess we flare check and... Yeah, I think we flare check here, because if they don't have flare, that sets us up for Sire next turn. Otherwise, we're contending with Consign anyways. Alright, let's ramp Scry Draw here. And flare check, flare force check. No flare force, and we have a bauble? Oh, damn. This gets more interesting. Okay. So, K Command Bauble. I don't think I want to play the Bauble right now, though. Because if I do and they play a Harbinger or SOL, now they would have played it last turn. They would have locked him out of green, admittedly. Yeah, so we'll do here, we'll go top, draw, and pass. We'll hold. Verdant Cat, fetch, 17 for Forest into Harbinger. Birthing Writ, that's fine, because the cage stops it. Smooth point there. 2 mana up. Could be Consign the Memory, though. We'll take 2 down to 17. Birthing Writ trigger. Paying cost for Beseiju. Oh, damn. Yep, you got the Beseiju. We'll say yes. Grab the Forest. That does shuffle away the Bauble. There's a Harbinger as well. Well, we held the K command for a reason. We'll draw. Sire. K command Harbinger? Probably. We could theoretically try and bait out something with Karn. But I think the K command Harbinger here makes sense. They haven't been countering our stuff. Do we scry draw or ramp? I want to say ramp, exile, Harbinger. X equals 5. And done. Harbinger down, force flare check. No force flare. We'll pass and hold. Could still have consign. Ritual's still on board as well. Another sync. Coin Oracle. Coin Oracle finds. Thibblethip. Do you play the Thibblethip? You do. No? Maybe not. A second birthing rite. Not a fan of that. Down to 16. 1 mana up. We'll yield all here. Not much we can do about that. Chooses not to. So whiff on 1. Coin Oracle, draw up to 4. We draw. Well, that's interesting. They can't ignore the map. So, question now becomes, do we use the map to bait a consign, or do we use a Karn to bait for the map? I think we use Karn to bait for the map, but we would have to heavily telegraph it is the problem, because we'd be sacking spawns. But they can't ignore Karn is the problem, right? Yeah, they can't reasonably ignore Karn. So I think baiting with Karn is correct. Alright, let's do it. Karn. Oh. Okay, well, wasn't expecting that, I'll be honest. Map? Crack map? For tower. So we have access to 9 mana. We could Battleship, pop Ritual, clear the dorks. That'd mean they have no more Ritual fodder. It's probably correct. Karn minus. Yes. For Battleship, we also could go Leveler. Let's go Battleship. Battleship. I can't imagine you have counter magic. Battleship will hit the writ. At this point, we'll pass in full. We could Torpor Orb Sire. That's actually true. Torpor Orb Sire may have not been bad, but the real problem here, I think, is Ritual into Oculus. Oculus is a problem, but we can deal with it. Oof is fine. We don't care about Oof. I think limiting the number of rituals is probably the better bet, because otherwise they can just churn through their deck. Second map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how do we want to proceed here? They didn't counter anything, but they drew 2 cards. There's Harbinger. I mean, you can plus on Battleship. We also could minus for 4. No, not this turn, but next we can. Yeah, let's just go Sire here. Star of Sire, see if this resolves. Because what would Torpor Orb necessarily do? Would stop Coin Oracle, Ice Fang? Kind of meh. Plus Karn on Battleship. It's an 8/8. Start swinging. It does not have Flying Trample, unfortunately, but an 8/8's an 8/8. No block with the oof. We don't want to station, even though we could do so now. And if I'll scoop it up, we'll take the win. And the 5-0. There it goes. Yeah, I think you could have played the Sire last turn. I'm not sure if Torpor Orb would have made much of a difference, but getting rid of the Dorks for them to play out, I think, worked out in our favor. Definitely could have gone wrong because of that Harbinger, though. That Harbinger may have pushed things in their favor if they hit the right things off that rip. Or in hand, rather. But regardless, we got there. Overall, pretty decent matches. Definitely some close ones, though, I will say. I would not say the matches were decisive. I would say we definitely won a lot of these on razor-thin margins. Very narrow lines. But overall, can't complain. I'll be honest, I really do hate Mycospawn. I hate the mono-green list. But I will say, with the amount of Tron being played, I do think it's a necessary evil, even though it means your top decks are arguably worse due to playing Talismans over Mind Stones. That being said, though, I think it makes sense as of right now. The Chalices, though, were pretty underwhelming. I do think in an open decklist format, I think Chalice main is correct, but in a closed decklist format like Moto, I don't think it is. So unless you're going into a very specific meta where it's not as open, I think Chalice main right now is not correct. I think you could argue maybe Trinisphere main instead, as it does have a bit more flexibility in the decks it can hit, and you're not as pinned between the decisions on the play of Chalice on 0 or holding it for Chalice on 2 for Storm. But I think I'll probably adjust this list and put in some more utility artifacts over Chalice main. Though I might need some room in the sideboard for either additional Trinispheres or additional Chalice. Might also be something to consider, just because Storm is very heavily played right now. Regardless, though, solid league, another 5-0. And with that being said, that there will be the end of tonight's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. Be much appreciated. For as much that I hope y'all learn from me in both my successes and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you're responding to the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. However, if you would like to watch these videos recorded live over on Twitch, you can find me there Sundays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. CST and Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. CST for the weekend challenges. Otherwise, you can head over to my Patreon where you can find these videos ad-free and early. With that being said, though, folks, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!